everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Performance Cafe. It's great to have you here today, and I want to talk to you about a topic that's been popping up so much the past couple of weeks, and that is cultural intelligence. So cultural intelligence is the capability to relate and work effectively with people from different cultural backgrounds. In remote teams where collaboration often spans continents and cultures, having a high level of cultural intelligence can make all the difference in how effectively we communicate and collaborate. But how do we understand those cultural nuances? Well, ask questions. But before we get there, 1, be open and honest when you ask. Start by expressing your genuine interest. You might say, I'm really curious about different cultures and would love to learn more about yours if you're comfortable sharing. 2, choose the right setting. Ensure that the environment is appropriate for a personal conversation. A relaxed setting can make someone feel more comfortable discussing their cultural background. 3, use open-ended questions. These types of questions encourage a more in-depth response. For example, can you tell me about some traditions from your culture? Or what's a typical holiday in your culture and how's it celebrated? 4, ask for specifics. Instead of broad questions, you can also ask about specific aspects such as food, traditions, values. For example, I've heard a lot about a specific festival. For example, what does it mean to you? 5, listen actively. Show that you value their perspective by listening attentively, and engaging with what they share. Nod, maintain eye contact if appropriate, and respond with follow-up questions. 6, be mindful of sensitivity. Understand that some topics may be sensitive. If a person seems reluctant to share or is uncomfortable, just change the subject. 7, share your own culture. Sometimes sharing your experiences can create a more reciprocal dialogue. For example, in my culture, we celebrate Christmas. How's that similar or different from your experiences? 8, express appreciation. Thank them for their willingness to share and tell them what their insights mean to you. 9, avoid stereotypes. Make sure to approach the conversation without assumptions or stereotypes about their culture. Ask questions with an open mind. So that's when we're speaking one-to-one, but how do we adjust to accommodate diverse cultures when we're talking within a group? So there are a couple of ways that we can do this. 1, there should be flexibility in communication. When scheduling meetings, consider time zone differences and try to find times that are convenient for all. If a certain communication style isn't working, such as relying heavily on emails, consider using visual aids or video calls, which can be more engaging for those who might find written language less effective. Create inclusive norms. In team meetings, establish norms that allow everyone to share their thoughts. For example, using a round-robin format can ensure that everyone has a chance to speak. It's crucial to be aware of cultural differences in how people express agreement and disagreement. Some may nod while not agreeing, while others might be more vocal about their objections. When using technology, utilize collaborative tools that make ways of working together easier. So, for example, Miro boards or murals in order to help build a bridge and keep everyone included. But what do we do when we've got multiple cultures in one room and they're quite diverse? It may feel quite impossible to accommodate everyone, right? So here's some strategies to take care of that. Firstly, establish common ground. Start by identifying shared values or goals. You are in the same business and you have the same focus. So focus on what unites the team and will minimize tensions and misunderstanding. Next, promote a culture of open-mindedness. Help teams to be patient and open-minded. Everyone's on a learning journey, and so it's important that we respect and have patience with each other. Rotate facilitation of meetings. This allows different cultural perspectives to influence the communication style of the meeting and can lead to greater understanding and adaptability over time. Use a feedback loop. After meetings or interactions, create a feedback loop. Ask teammates what worked, what didn't in terms of accommodating cultural differences. This can be done anonymously to foster honest feedback. But my personal favorite is to ask someone, what one thing do people consistently get wrong about your culture? Yes, this is actually a great question. It allows the individual to share their perspective on misconceptions and helps educate you and others. Here are a few reasons why it can be effective, alongside with some considerations. So firstly, it does encourage that reflection. This question prompts the individual to think critically about their cultural identity and how it's perceived by others. It opens dialogue. It invites a meaningful conversation around stereotypes, misconceptions, and the nuances of culture, which can deepen your understanding. It empowers the individual. It gives them a chance to correct misconceptions and share their experiences, making them feel valued and heard, and making them feel like less of a stereotype. There are a couple of considerations when asking that. Firstly, timing and context. Ensure that the conversation has established a level of comfort and trust. This question might feel too direct in the early stages of a discussion about culture. 2, be sensitive in your approach. Make sure to approach the question gently. You might add a preface such as, I've noticed that cultures can be misunderstood. I'm curious, if you're uncomfortable with understanding, what do people get wrong about your culture? 3, be open to responses. Be prepared for various answers. Some might mention light-hearted misunderstandings, while others could address more serious stereotypes or biases. 4, follow up with curiosity. If they share a misconception, consider following up with questions that invite them to elaborate on their culture further. So in conclusion, cultural intelligence is essential for the success of remote teams. By understanding cultural nuances, adjusting our communication styles, and managing the dynamics of multiple cultures in one virtual space, we can significantly enhance collaboration and reduce misunderstandings. But a couple of things to keep in mind. Stay curious. Always remain curious about your teammates' backgrounds. This is not a once-off event. We constantly need to grow and learn more. 2, adapt and embrace flexibility. Be willing to adapt your communication methods and approaches. 3, celebrate diversity. Remember that diversity is a strength. By valuing different perspectives, we can create more innovative and resilient teams. And 4, be respectful of boundaries. You may be genuinely interested and able to appreciate different cultures, but not everyone has had that experience. Don't push for detailed information when people aren't ready to give it. So I hope you found this discussion insightful and that it inspires you to foster a more inclusive remote working environment. Remember, culture is not just a part of what we do, it's what makes us who we are. And so not only do we learn about our colleagues as individuals that have competence and skills, but we also understand what drives them. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. And if you're looking for more, we record these and upload them as videos to YouTube and LinkedIn. And there'll be a matching article or a blog on our website, Perform Forward. And then until next time, when I see you again at the Performance Cafe.